Hello again, I'm James. I'm an actor and a magician, and a friend of Bict's. Welcome back to my magic workshops that I'm doing as part of Bict and Friends at Home. Each week, I'm teaching you a magic trick that you can do with things from around your own home. I'll show you the trick, then I'll teach you the secret behind it so you can do it too. And then I'll share some tips about how you can be a better magician and a better performer. This week, we're going to talk about why stories are important to magicians. But first, I'm going to show you how magicians keep their money safe with a very special wallet. Which reminds me, I need to do some shopping. Being a magician comes in handy all the time. For example, if I go shopping for the essentials, you know, things like M&Ms and digestive biscuits. What? They're important? I always remember to take my magic origami wallet with me. This is a very special magician's wallet and it helps me keep my money extra safe. But I have a feeling, I don't have enough money to buy both. M&Ms or digestive biscuits? That is the question. Which would you buy? I think it needs to be the chocolate, probably. Thank you! But you know, digestive biscuits are good as well. And this is when being a magician really comes in handy. You see, the origami wallet has the special ability to travel through time. So if I send it backwards through time by about 60 seconds, that was before I took the money out to pay for the M&Ms, which means that money is still in here. And since I've already paid for the M&Ms, I can use this, thank you, to buy the digestive biscuits as well. And I can have my M&Ms and digestive biscuits, all thanks to the origami wallet. The origami wallet is a very special wallet, but it's not magic. What it is a secret switching device that actually lets you do lots of different things. You can use it to make something appear, you can use it to make something disappear, or you can use it to change one thing into another. Before we look at how to do that, I'm going to show you how you can make your own. So it's time for some art and craft. You've seen there are 3 layers to the origami wallet. You actually need 4 pieces of paper to make it. 1 for the inside, 2 for the middle, and 1 for the outside. And I think it looks nice if you can use different colours. It's easier for the audience to follow what's happening when you open and close the wallet, and it looks really pretty when all 3 layers are all opened out at the same time. But you can use any colours. I'm using black, cream and brown, but you can use anything that you can find. And if you only have white paper works fine as well. This is A4 paper. You can do it with different sizes, but you might need to experiment a little bit. So I'll explain it with this. A4 paper is 21 centimetres this way by 29.5 centimetres that way, just in case you need to know. The other things that you'll need are a ruler, a pencil and a glue stick. And one other thing about the paper, it should be fairly light and flimsy. Because we're going to fold this several times, you end up with lots of layers of paper, and if it's thick to start off with, your origami wallet ends up being very bulky and it can be difficult to fold it closed. So something thin, but that's not too easy to see through is perfect. So this black paper is actually ideal for one of my layers. Now all of the layers are made in exactly the same way, so I'll show you one and then you can make the other ones. The first thing I need to do is change the sizes a little bit of some of these bits of paper. The outside layer is just made with A4, so this brown piece is perfect. The inside layer is half A4 or A5 size. So the first thing I'm going to do is fold this black piece in half, just matching up the corners. Crease it down the middle, and then use a ruler, and it helps if you're on a nice firm flat surface like this cutting mat. I'm going to put the ruler right up against that crease, hold it down firmly with one hand, and then carefully tear along that straight edge, just like that. That leaves me with two pieces of paper. Yes, it's got one rough edge, but both bits have one rough edge, and all that really matters is that these are identical, and you'll see why later. So that's the inside layer done. The middle layer, I just need to make this slightly smaller than A4. It has to be a little bit smaller than the outside layer. So the way I'm going to do that is by tearing off a strip the width of my ruler. So you could do this one at a time. I'm going to do this at the same time. Square both pieces up, put my ruler along one edge, hold it down firmly, and then I'm going to just tear along, and that tears off a strip, just like that, the width of my ruler. So that's the short edge. I need to do the same thing along one long edge as well. So here we go. Square them up, put my ruler there, hold it down, and then carefully tear along that straight edge. You might want to get someone to help you with this. The other way you could do this is by measuring with the ruler, marking it with a pencil, and then carefully cutting with a pair of scissors. But I think it's quicker and easier and safer just to tear along a straight edge like that. So now you can see that gives me a piece which is a little bit smaller than A4. There's a margin all the way around. So this is perfect. Okay, let me show you how we're going to prepare one of the wallets. I need to fold all four edges into the middle. So it helps to begin with if I know where the center line is. The easiest way to do that is to fold the two short edges together and put just a little crease in the middle. So I'm just going to squeeze down with one finger. That puts a little crease right here. I can see where that is. And now I'm going to fold the edges almost to it, maybe about half a centimetre away on both sides. And here's another reason why it's good to be working on a flat surface. I want to make sure these creases are nice and tight, so I'm going to use my fingernail just to squeeze each crease down. So that's the two edges folded into the middle. Now I need to fold the bottom up and the top down. Now with the small ones, these inside ones, this flap needs to be about 4.5 centimetres. So that looks good. I'm going to squeeze that one down. And the top also will have a flap of about 4.5 centimetres, which means there'll be a gap at the bottom of about a centimetre. Just like that. So that's the top, bottom, and the two sides all folded into the middle. So that's one done already. I just need to do the same thing with all the other ones. So here goes. Fold the two edges together, put a crease in the middle, fold one into the middle, whoop, fold the other into the middle, the top up, about 4.5 centimetres, about there, other side, leave a little overlap, here. Now, the important thing, these should be as close to identical as possible because you're going to secretly switch one for the other. That's the inside layers done. Middle layer is exactly the same. Find the middle, crease one edge in, leave a gap between the edge and the middle of about 0.5 centimetre, crease the other edge in, so now there's going to be a gap of about 1 centimetre in the middle, fold the bottom up. This overlap is about 5.5 centimetres. So it was 4.5 centimetres on the small ones, 5.5 centimetres on the medium-sized ones, and it's going to be a 6.5 centimetre flap on the big one, on the outside layer. So there's one middle one. Fold that one up. Just double check. Is that 5.5 centimeters? Yes, it is. Fold the top down. And these two also, the two middle layers, these should also be as close as possible. They look about the same size. That's great. And now the big one. I don't need to do anything to this. This is already the right size. So just the same. Find the middle. Fold one edge in. Fold the other edge in. Fold the bottom up. This one, remember, 6.5 centimeters. That looks good to me. Top down. And we're done. So we've got big ones, medium ones, small ones. That's the outside, middle, and inside layers all folded up. The next thing I need to do is some secret preparation on this middle layer, and that's why I have my glue stick. So I'm going to take these two layers and glue them back to back, but I want to turn one over this way, not side to side. I want to flip it over towards me. And I'm going to glue these back to back like this. Now you could use double-sided tape, or in fact any kind of glue, but actually glue stick is perfect for this. It's easy to use, and it means I can get right into the corners and right up to the edges, which is good because I don't want these to peel apart anywhere. If I can, I want them glued really tightly back to back. Gluing it to my own finger. So I flip this over towards me, that's the right way round. And now I want to line these up as perfectly as possible, corner to corner, corner to corner. This is the other good reason for using a glue stick, because there's still a little bit of time to wiggle it before the glue sets. If you use double-sided tape, then once you put it down, if you make a mistake, it's really hard to peel it back off. So the glue stick is really the best thing to use for this. And I'm going to squeeze these together, smooth them together. Like this. So if I flip it over towards me, it looks the same on both sides. I can open top, bottom, left and right, close, right, left, bottom and top, flip it over, top, bottom, left and right. It looks exactly the same on both sides, and that's exactly what I want. Now we're almost ready to put it all together. The only other thing I want to do is use my pencil to put a little dot on one side to help me see which way round this is. So I'm going to use my pencil and put a little pencil dot down here in the bottom right hand corner. No one's going to see that except me. That lets me know this is the side that I'm going to start with, because it does get flipped around in performance, and you'll see that in a minute. So let's put it all together. We've got the middle layer. Inside here, I'm going to put one of the black envelopes that we made earlier, and then fold this up around it. Flip it over towards me, open it up again, and inside here, I'm going to put the other black envelope, facing exactly the same way. Flip it back over so I've got the side with the pencil dot looking at me, and this all goes inside my biggest envelope like this. And if you want, you could put an elastic band around that, but that is your origami wallet ready to go. By now, you probably understand how the origami wallet works. The middle wallet has two sides which look identical, apart from my pencil dot here, so I know which way round it is. Depending on which way I open the wallet, I can show two different things inside. So for the trick earlier, I started with a banknote in both sides of the wallet. That meant I could open it, take the banknote out, use my money to pay for my M&Ms, Thank you. Show the wallet empty. Then, when I close it up, do the secret move, I can reopen the wallet to show that my money has appeared back inside the wallet. Ta-da! If I do this in reverse, I can take something, put it inside the empty wallet, close the wallet up, do the secret move, and now, when I reopen the wallet, whatever I put inside has disappeared. And it doesn't have to be a banknote, it could be anything flat that fits inside the wallet. I can even use this to make something change. Here's a good example. I have a piece of white paper, the same size as a banknote. If I put this inside the wallet and close it up, do the secret move, when I reopen the wallet now, that piece of white paper has become printed and it's turned into a real banknote, which I can use to buy my biscuits. Thank you. So the origami wallet will make things appear, disappear, or change. I suggest once you've made your own, you play around with it to get used to how it works and see which kind of tricks you like doing with it. But there is another secret to the origami wallet. You know how it works, but how do you turn over this middle wallet so that nobody notices? This is a big lesson in magic. Magicians talk about something called misdirection, and that means controlling where your audience looks or what they think is important. And while they're looking at that, you can do something secret without them noticing. Now, there's different ways that you can misdirect people, but one thing you learn as a magician is that the audience usually looks where you look. For example, if I look at the origami wallet, you probably look at the origami wallet as well, because without saying anything, I'm showing you that this is important. This is what I'm giving my attention to. A special case of this is when I look at you. When I make eye contact with you, it shows you that our relationship, our connection is important, and it's very hard for you not to look back at me. I can make that even stronger if I engage you by asking a question. If you look back at the performance, you'll see just before I do the secret move, I look up and ask, what would you do? Buy the M&Ms or the biscuits? In that moment, it's very hard for you not to look at my face, and while you're doing that, that's when I do the secret move. Now, to do that well, you need to know exactly what you're going to say. You need to know your script. You need to know exactly what you're going to do, turn the wallet over, without even looking at it, and you need to time everything so it happens in a nice flow at the same time. And to be able to do that, you need to, you guessed it, practice. This goes back all the way to week 1 and the very first lesson about how important it is to practice and make sure you know what to say and what to do. So, go and make yourself an origami wallet. Try making things appear, disappear, and change, and try using misdirection and eye contact to give yourself a moment to do the secret move. There is one problem with the origami wallet. If someone wants to look at it, you can't let them, or they'll find the secret. But this brings me on to today's performing tip, which is about stories and why stories are important to magicians. A good story usually has 3 parts, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And if a story doesn't have all 3 parts, it's not satisfying to an audience for some reason. For example, if I tell a magical story, and at the beginning of the story, I take some money and I put it inside my origami wallet. That's the beginning of my story. What comes next? The middle, that's right. In the middle of my story, I make a magical gesture and show you that the money has vanished. if I stop now, there's no end. And the audience are still wondering, what happens next? Where did the money go? The most obvious place to look is at the wallet because that was the last place they saw it. So of course they want to look at this. But if I give an end to the story, at the beginning I put the money in the wallet, in the middle the money disappeared, and then at the end of the story I can show you that the money has magically reappeared back in my pocket, well, now the story's over. Now there's no reason to look for the money because you know where it is, and now there's no reason to look at the wallet because there's nothing left to say. The story's over. When I performed earlier, the beginning of my story was I wanted to go shopping to buy M&Ms and biscuits. The middle of the story was I realised I only had enough money to buy one, so I bought the M&Ms. And at the end of the story, I fixed my problem by making the money magically return to me so I could use it to buy the biscuits as well. The story had a beginning, a middle, and an end. So my tip today is whenever you're performing, if you're acting or doing magic tricks, try to tell stories that have a beginning, a middle, and an end, because that will help your audience feel satisfied with the story and they won't still be curious and want to examine your props and maybe find out how you did your magic. So, have fun with the origami wallet, and I will see you next time on James Magic. Oh, before I go, I hope you're enjoying these tips and tricks and that you try them for yourself at home. If you do, Bict and I would love to see it. Why not record your magic and send a clip to Bict? Just record it on your phone and email it to bictfest@gmail.com. I can't wait to see what you do. Bye for now.